Guess who's back in the house? Here's click clack in the bow. Fine, fresh, feminine. Dial to 11 it. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day. I just finished watching episode 7 of AJ and the Queen, and it is such a great episode. So, this episode is titled Jackson, and Ruby and AJ are driving from Little Rock to Jackson, Mississippi to meet drag race alumna Monique Hart and Latrice Royale. And so Latrice Royale plays Fabergé Legs, and Fabergé Legs um, really is everything and has everything that Ruby Red wants. Fabergé has a successful nightclub that's open, it seems, every day of the week. But in order to support the nightclub and charitable activities that she likes to do, she also has like a counterfeit clothing company and a counterfeit fragrance company. And it seems like counterfeit money as well. However, she's like the Robin Hood of the drag community and the nightlife community. And she pays it forward. And every single night, she will feed homeless people in this area called Tent City. And if they need clothing, she will give it to them. And the beautiful thing about this episode is that Fabergé Legs is drag mother to Monique Hart's character. And so this episode, we actually, the two past episodes, we haven't had any drag race alumna. And so we get the most beloved drag race contestant of all time, Latrice Royale, with Monique Hart. They both were on All Stars um, the last season, and in a moment that no one could have expected, Monique Hart sent Latrice Royale home, and Latrice was devastated having to go home. And when the queens who were voted off returned, Latrice made her thoughts known to Monique and everyone else who was left in the competition. And they actually had to lip sync battle against each other. And it is one of the most iconic and memorable performances of All Stars just because how tense it was and the shock at the end. And so I really think that RuPaul, after that day of filming that lip sync, that RuPaul was thinking, I want to include these two together in this production of AJ and the Queen. And so that's really incredible. So back to Fabergé Legs. She really has everything that Ruby wants, especially a supportive family. So in the beginning of the episode, AJ sees a puppy, and the puppy belongs to a homeless man and woman who they're asking people who are going into the club for money. And so I think uh, Ruby gives the couple $1. But that's also significant because we know that Ruby only has $100 to her name. So she's just given them one of the $100. And so AJ is really grilling them, asking like how much of this money is going to go to the puppy, because this is a baby that needs love and care and attention, and I'm not sure if you're giving this puppy that what it needs. And so you can tell from the episode where they go to um, Mount Juliet when AJ wanted to buy a puppy, that she really wants to replace this feeling of love for not having her mother in her life at this moment. So later in the episode, when Fabergé Legs goes to feed uh, the homeless community in Tent City, AJ sees the same puppy from earlier in the episode and picks it up and basically is screaming at this couple, saying, like, why aren't you with this puppy? He could have been, taken by someone else. Someone could have stepped on him. Like, you're not taking care of him. And so the mother essentially says, give me my puppy back. And AJ doesn't want to. And so eventually AJ does, but cries and runs to the car that they drove in. So Ruby is talking to the couple, apologizing. And the male says, we'll sell you the puppy for $100. And Ruby basically says, well, I only have 99, so can you take that? And they accept it. So Ruby gives the puppy to AJ, and AJ is elated to be a puppy mother. However, we see that the puppy, for a few days, continues to cry, continues to whine, doesn't sleep, and AJ doesn't know why. AJ is giving it everything that she thinks the puppy needs: shelter, food, love, but it's not enough. And eventually she comes to the realization that the puppy needs her mother. And so the cool thing is that the puppy is symbolic of AJ. Um, and so Brianna, AJ's mother, earlier in the episode, knocks on Lewis's door and asks, hey, have you seen my daughter? And Lewis says no, trying to protect AJ. And so later on in the episode, Ruby realizes that no matter how horrible Brianna it has been to AJ, that AJ needs her mother. Ruby can give her as much love, care, and attention that she thinks she needs, but she really needs her mother. And I think that's a powerful message about family and the importance of family and how it affects us as young adults, as adults, and as older people. And so growing up, RuPaul had a great relationship with his mother, and in return, he has become drag mother to the contestants on Drag Race and to people outside of the drag race community. And some of them have great relationships, some of them don't. And so I do think it's important in the LGBTQ plus community to have elders and children and to pass on knowledge and history so that that history doesn't die. Um, and that's the beautiful thing about this episode, is that we really see family structures. We see Fabergé Legs being a drag mother to Monique Hart's character. We also see Fabergé Legs' real biological mother in the picture, and how the mother is like the bartender at the club. And Monique Hart is actually related to Monique Hart. Um, and so I think um, it's a heavily layered episode, and I love it, and I hope that this continues throughout the episodes. And so Fabergé is alerted that Lady Danger is in the parking lot looking for Ruby. And so Fabergé gathers her bodyguard team, the door people, and they snatch up Lady Danger and remove her eye patch. And basically, Lady Danger wears his eye patch because she messed up her own face. And Fabergé takes a picture of her, and she has like this part of her face is swollen, and her eye is kind of like red and is a little enlarged as well. And so she says, if you don't leave right now, I will post this on Instagram. Or she says, scram or Instagram, which is hilarious to me because everyone in the group repeats it at least 20 times. And so that should be the hook to Latrice Royale's next number one song, Scram, Instagram, scram, Instagram, scram. I think it'll blow up. And so that was hilarious. Another great moment that we had in this episode was the black man on black man love scene that I wasn't expecting. And so Fabergé's like main bodyguard is really attracted to Ruby out of drag as Robert. And so Ruby performs, and then after Ruby performs, they start making out backstage. And then they go to a Hummer, and as Brenda from Scary Movie would say, they started knocking the boots. Like the Hummer is like rocking and moving and shaking. And it was a beautiful moment. And so first we got the man on or the black man scene from Pose with Pray Tell and his boyfriend Bear exposed to the world um, for America to see. And then we got this beautiful image of Robert and the bodyguard embracing each other and caring for each other and really needing each other for all of the world to see. And so it's a season of black gay love, and I am here for it. And if I sound stuffy, I've been trying to do keto, and on keto you have to do a lot of like healthy fats. So it's cold and flu season, and of course dairy builds mucus, so I have a lot of buildup. So I'm sorry. Um, I won't have it for the next video, hopefully. And so um, the moments that really stood out for me in this episode was Latrice Royale's Everybody Say Black Gay Love. Thanks, Jake. That was really cute. Um, and Latrice sold Fabergé legs. Like, she was the character. I it felt like she wasn't even acting, like it was Latrice in this character. Like she gave a beating heart to Fabergé legs, and I loved her. She really shined in this, and Latrice just has that presence that um, she can embody a character, which really shocks me. Her Snatch Game performances have been a little wonky, but this was incredible. Like she she became the character, and I loved it. And I hope to see Latrice in more acting projects um, because she was so good. And I'm curious about the woman who played her mother um, because she was Latrice's mother, and so I'm curious about that woman. I have to research her name to figure out who she is. Monique Hart was like every bratty drag race contestant in an acting challenge. She was that girl. And the cool thing is that she's on Hey Queen this week. So please watch her interview on Hey Queen because we get a lot of behind the scenes commentary. And she talks about her hilarious moments being the narrator for season 10 on Drag Race, and then her time on All Stars. So please watch that. So in the end, we have Lady Danger and Damien fleeing the nightclub. And so, and Damien's car is just like pummeled. Hi, Raphael. Oh, I'm glad you made it to alive. Mwah. Thanks for coming. You're in good company. Hopefully, won't be your last. Um, and so that was, I think, a great way to end. Hi, Cindy. I think that was a great way to end this episode because we've had Damien following Ruby this entire time. And so I'm going to watch episode 8 just to see what happens if Damien reappears in the scene or in the season, I should say. But they flee um, afraid for their lives with the mob of black people running after Damien's car. Hilarious, by the way. Um, and so I am excited to watch episode 8. Everyone was talking about this particular episode, and I know why, because it's really good. I think I said like episodes 4, 5, 6, after each review, they have been my favorite episodes. I give this one an A plus. Latrice shines. Luis is just always phenomenal. Like I actually thought that he was blind in real life. Um, if you've ever been around someone's blind, the way that he holds his head, the way that he positions his eyes, it is a character or it is a person who is blind. And so he's incredible. We really get to see AJ being a child. And that's what I really wanted episodes 1, 2, and 3. And so she's playing with the puppy, even though the puppy is whining all day long. She names the puppy Jackson because she says this is the best place that they visited um, on the tour. And so we really get to see her being a child. And then when she returns the puppy, uh, she goes through this complete emotional state. So in the beginning, she's happy and then sad. And so we get a lot of character development with her in one particular episode. And with Ruby, she finally gets the love and care that she deserves, even though it's a one night stand, it's still a moment of beauty, something to get her mind off of Damien. And this is the only episode where she hasn't really thought about him. I think in the previous episode of Little Rock, she had a moment where she questioned something about him. And so I am really excited to watch episode 8. So this is the end of my review. For everyone who joined the live, thank you for coming on. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about this episode. Who was your favorite? Who was your least favorite? What did you think about finally seeing Lady Danger eye underneath that eye patch? I wasn't expecting that at all. And so that was actually really good and interesting to see. And what are your thoughts about Damien? Kind of like the romantic in me wants Damien to really. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Rafa. I really appreciate it. I really want Damien to return the $100,000, but I know that's not going to happen. But Ruby, I hope Ruby is able to open up the club somehow. Even though I don't know if I mentioned this, but Fabergé gives her a loan of $100,000, but it turns out to be counterfeit money, so she can't use that, of course. And she hasn't made any money on this tour because she's trying to pay off the credit card debt that she owes thanks to Damien. And she is penniless at this point because she paid all of her money to this homeless couple. And so, whatever next city she gets into, she has to like come above this financial crisis that she's having. And I know that she's preparing for this pageant, and I think the pageant may be the last episode. Um, and so I'm really excited about this pageant and what the prize money is. It would be cool if the prize money is $100,000. All right, so thank you all for watching, and I'm gonna watch episode 8 right now, and then hopefully I can do a quick review. Oh, thanks, Rafa. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. And so leave your comments in the comment section. Until next time, make sure to love yourself, love your chosen family and your given family, and have a lovely day. Besos. Mwah.